This is definitely a problem humanity will not be able to avoid in the future. We are constantly striving to make artificial intelligence smarter, even capable of thinking like a human. If that day really comes, will it be more of a surprise or a shock? The first time Iris met her boyfriend Josh was at a supermarket. Josh was reaching for an orange but accidentally knocked over the entire fruit shelf. His clumsy appearance somehow captured Iris's heart. They fell in love at first sight and instantly decided to become each other's other half. However, what seemed like a sweet beginning was actually hiding a terrifying conspiracy. That day, they were heading to a mountain villa for a gathering with friends using a self-driving car. The villa was enormous, surrounded by several kilometers of private land. As they were about to enter the villa, Iris hesitated, worried that meeting Josh's friends for the first time might embarrass him. Josh reassured her that everything would be fine, then knocked on the door. Josh's friend Kat opened the door and greeted him warmly, completely ignoring Iris. Only after Josh gave Kat a look did she reluctantly acknowledge Iris.
Hello, Iris.
Hi, Kat. It's so good to see you.
The owner of the house was Kat's boyfriend, Sergey. Upon meeting Iris, Sergey stared at her lecherously and showered her with exaggerated compliments. Iris responded awkwardly, as if she didn't quite understand normal social flattery. Her tone was stiff and her expression hesitant. Sensing something was off, she quickly changed the subject, but her odd reaction only made Sergey more interested in her. After the long trip, Iris took a shower and stood in front of the mirror, reminding herself to smile and fit in. After dinner, everyone gathered to talk about how they met. In front of everyone, Iris expressed her deep affection for Josh, saying she would stay by his side no matter what. Every time she spoke, she was extremely cautious, afraid of saying the wrong thing. She kept secretly watching Josh's expression to see if he was satisfied. The three couples stayed up late, enjoying the lively atmosphere in the villa. The next morning, they had planned to go to the lake, but Josh claimed he felt dizzy and told Iris to go ahead without him. After Iris left, Josh picked up his phone and took a USB drive from his pocket. The villa was still quite a distance from the lake, and when Iris arrived, she realized she was alone. Standing at the edge of the forest, she suddenly discovered a folding knife in her pocket, but couldn't remember when she had put it there. Just then, Sergey arrived at the lake. Iris wanted to leave immediately, afraid Josh would misunderstand, but Sergey asked her to stay and chat for a while. Since this was Sergey's place, Iris didn't want to make things awkward, so she agreed. Then Sergey asked Iris to help him apply sunscreen, but took the opportunity to behave inappropriately, attempting to cross the line with her. Iris kept refusing, but Sergey only grew more aggressive. A few minutes later, Iris returned to the villa holding the folding knife, now covered in blood. Panicked, she told everyone how she had accidentally killed Sergey in self-defense, but then Josh said something shocking.
Iris, go to sleep.
Iris wasn't even human. She was actually a companion robot Josh had rented. Josh instructed the others to tie Iris to a chair, ensuring she couldn't move, before sitting in front of her to wake her up. Iris kept explaining that she acted in self-defense, and Josh believed her. After all, her programming wouldn't allow her to lie.
It's, part of your programming.
Programming? What the hell are you talking about?
It was only then that Josh told her the truth. She was a robot, but Iris had no idea. Seeing her refusal to believe it, Josh used his phone to force a language mode switch.
Can you speak, say, Spanish?
Josh, no sé hablar español.
How about Chinese?
怎么回事?
Iris tried to use memories of their first encounter to prove she wasn't a robot, but those were just part of her initial programming. Not long ago, Josh had ordered a companion robot from his apartment. In the original design, the robot had no awareness of not being human and would unconditionally satisfy the user's needs. The user could adjust the robot's voice, eye color, and even IQ through a mobile app. Setting the IQ to the highest level made it equivalent to an Ivy League graduate. The lowest setting turned it into a basic service robot. Pressing the fingerprint sensor behind the right ear would restore the robot to factory settings. The robot's programming originally included one rule.
To establish love link.
Do no harm to any living being or other robots. Once the phone established a love link connection with Iris, Josh began to bind her into a master-servant relationship. Their so-called first encounter at the supermarket was nothing more than a system-generated startup scenario. The emotions Iris experienced were merely simulated behavioral responses, and even her tears were just clean water sprayed from an internal tank. Kat suddenly interrupted their conversation and demanded that Josh shut Iris down immediately. Hearing Kat mention Shutdown, Iris began to struggle even more. Though she was a robot, she had a survival instinct similar to that of humans. Josh, however, seemed reluctant to let go of this fabricated relationship and insisted on saying goodbye to Iris. To avoid being overheard, he and Kat returned to the room to continue their argument. It turned out the two of them had planned this scheme all along. While they were arguing, Iris noticed the folding knife on the ground and took the chance to pick it up and cut through the ropes tying her. When Josh returned to the living room, Iris punched him in the throat, instantly disabling him.
Oh fuck, Iris gonna...
She took Josh's phone, and as she turned around, she saw Kat. Iris calmly instructed Kat on how to save Josh, then fled the villa. After regaining consciousness, Josh finally confessed the whole plan. Josh had used the USB drive to hack Iris's programming, gaining elevated control access. He increased her aggressiveness and disabled her internal harm protection protocols. The goal was to have Iris initiate an attack on Sergey, covering up their plan to steal the $12 million hidden in Sergey's safe. Everything had been premeditated by Josh and Kat. They deliberately arranged for Iris to be alone with Sergey, knowing his lecherous tendencies would lead him to make a move. And the hacked Iris would kill in self-defense, allowing them to get away with it perfectly. Now that things had spiraled out of control, Josh had no choice but to bring Eli and Patrick into the mission to track down Iris and fix the system breach. Otherwise, the tech company would notice the anomaly when retrieving Iris. Josh promised to split the money after the job was done. But though there were 4 people, he only offered 3 shares.
You, me, Kat, Patrick.
Eli,
Josh.
Patrick doesn't count.
Are you
Wow, right in front of him? Really nice.
I'm so sorry, baby. I'm sorry you had to hear that.
That's okay, I don't mind.
Patrick, go to sleep.
That's because Patrick was also a robot. Eventually, after Kat's persuasion, Eli agreed to the 3-way split. Meanwhile, deep in the forest, Iris was hiding. She knew everything about Josh, including his phone password. She unlocked the phone and stared at the app that once controlled her, falling into deep thought. She first disabled voice control, and then experimented with changing her eye color and voice. Finally, she adjusted her intelligence from 40% to 100%. Standing on the edge of a cliff, she began planning her escape route. If she tried to hitchhike, the blood on her would scare off any driver. If she walked home, she would definitely run into Josh and the others. Then she remembered. Josh's phone could also control the self-driving car. So she decided to return to the villa and quietly take the car. But on the way, she encountered Eli and Patrick, who were searching for her. Iris quickly hid behind a large tree, waiting for them to pass. Suddenly, the phone in her pocket received a message and the vibration gave away her position. Eli, holding a gun, approached to locate the target.
Iris.
But his aim was terrible. He missed despite being so close. Iris sprinted away at full speed while Eli and Patrick tried to intercept her from both sides. Trying to avoid Patrick, Iris changed direction and accidentally ran straight into Eli. They lost control and tumbled down a small hill. Iris got up first and saw a pistol on the ground. Eli noticed it too. In the struggle, Iris grabbed it first and shot Eli dead. Hearing the gunshot, Josh arrived and tried using voice control to put Iris to sleep, only to realize she had already disabled voice recognition. His commands were useless. Iris rushed back to the villa and jumped into the car, thinking she had finally found a way out, only to hear the system prompt, "Voice recognition failed." The car only responded to Josh's voice.
Not recognized.
Drive home!
She kept shouting, "Go home," her emotions unraveling. After calming down, she remembered the app could adjust her voice tone. She began tweaking the pitch, trying to mimic Josh's voice.
Drive!
Drive home! Drive. Drive! Drive home! Drive home!
Meanwhile, Josh used another phone to log into the car company's website and report the vehicle as stolen. The car's system immediately activated its security protocol. The lights flashed, and the car pulled over to the roadside. He called Iris, trying to persuade her to come back. But Iris now possessed independent consciousness. She now fully understood the murderous trap Josh had designed and decided to break up with him.
We're on 2 totally different paths.
2 totally different paths. What the is happening right now? Are you breaking up with me?
I'm sorry.
Josh wasn't about to give up. He used Eli's fingerprint to reset Patrick and made himself the new master. He rewrote Patrick's programming, set his aggression level to 100%, and ordered him to retrieve Iris. At the same time, Iris, now locked in the car, began kicking the window, trying to break out, just as a patrol car happened to drive by. She jumped out of the vehicle just as the police car stopped. Although her programming had been hacked, she still couldn't tell a lie. To avoid giving herself away during questioning, Iris cleverly switched her system language to German.
Was für ein schöner Abend, nicht wahr?
At first, the police officer tried to help her kindly, but upon seeing the blood-stained folding knife inside the car, he immediately grew alert and drew his gun, ordering her not to move. Just then, Patrick silently approached, cold and precise like a professional killer. He dodged the officer's shots and punched him in the head over and over, blood spraying with each strike until he had caved in the man's face. Iris, already handcuffed, had no chance to grab the phone and could only run for her life. Patrick picked up the phone from the ground, shut her down with one tap, and brought her back to the villa. When Josh saw Patrick return in a police car, his face froze instantly.
I believe the name on the officer's tag was Hendricks.
Where's Officer Hendricks now?
He's in the trunk.
Upon hearing there was a police officer's body in the trunk, Kat panicked. She packed the money and tried to escape alone, no matter how much Josh pleaded with her. Josh ordered Patrick to stop Kat, but Patrick stabbed her to death without hesitation. Kat collapsed on the couch, her breathing fading away, right next to the shutdown Iris. Now, only Josh and the two robots remained in the villa. Josh had Patrick prepare a lavish dinner, then reactivated Iris and forced her to sit across from him. The moment she powered on, Iris started mocking him coldly.
You were saying?
You.
Right.
Josh tried to shift all the blame onto her, but Iris refused, pointing out that his greed was what caused so many deaths. This pushed Josh completely over the edge.
You have no clue what it is like out there. The world, everything, it's just a big game. And I'm sorry, but it is rigged against people like me.
He shouted that he wasn't a bad person, just a nobody abandoned by society's rules. He lived in a rundown apartment, was a complete failure, and even Iris wasn't his. She was only rented.
And I know that you think that having a few $1 million will disguise the fact that you are just a sad, bitter, weak human being.
You're so fucking clever, aren't you?
Josh set Iris's intelligence level to 0, turning her into an obedient robot. Since she claimed she could feel pain, Josh ordered her to place her hand over a candle and keep it there, burning. Then he called the robot company, reporting the incident where the robot had harmed someone. After the call, he ordered Iris to shoot herself in the head.
No.
He believed that, like a human, her core processor was located in her brain. Not long after, technicians from the robot company arrived. Josh had Patrick pose as a police officer to vouch for him. One of the workers looked at Patrick and said he seemed familiar. Josh quickly explained that he just had a generic face. Just as they were about to take Iris away, Josh learned from the staff that her processor and hard drive were actually hidden in her abdomen. The hard drive stored everything she had seen and heard, and once returned to the company, all data would be extracted and the entire incident thoroughly investigated. The damaged head only housed her water tank and wireless communication module. Upon hearing this, Josh immediately panicked. As the staff were about to drive off with Iris, Patrick suddenly stepped in front of the van. It was only then that the technicians realized Patrick was also one of their company's robots. But it was already too late.
He's a
When an AI-powered robot becomes a killer, it's far more efficient than any human. Patrick fired 3 shots, killing the driver, then walked over to make sure the job was done. He continued chasing Teddy, one of the company's staff members. During the pursuit, the reset Iris suddenly powered back on. She grabbed a stun baton and rushed toward Patrick, only to realize it had no effect on him. Patrick effortlessly knocked her to the ground, ripped the baton from her hands, and moved in to finish her off. Iris backed away, trying to reason with him. She told him, "Josh is only using you."
That's who you love, not Josh.
Under her words, Patrick began to remember the good times he shared with Eli. He recalled their relationship and the fact that Eli was now gone. Overcome with grief, he chose to end himself. Iris asked Teddy to grant her full self-control, then returned to the villa to take revenge on Josh. With her wireless module damaged, Josh could no longer control her through his phone. Iris had gained true consciousness, and her love for Josh was real, which made it hard for her to pull the trigger. Josh seized the chance, grabbed her gun, and pinned her down, pressing the muzzle to her abdomen. That was where her processor and hard drive were located. Driven by a powerful survival instinct, Iris finally fought back. She grabbed an electric bottle opener and stabbed it into Josh's temple. In the end, Iris took the $12 million, got into a vintage sports car, and drove off toward a life that was truly her own.